welcome to my van tour. Alright guys, well, I know most van tours start from the outside of the van, so I guess that's what we'll do today. So she doesn't have a name yet, but she is an 07 E350 Super Duty. She's got about 270,000 miles on her. So from front to back, I've got an exhaust fan. I forget what the brand name is, but it's been outstanding, working for me really well. The exhaust fan right behind that, I've got a 22 by 30 inch skylight. It's a domed RV skylight. It's the biggest one I could find that wasn't for residential. Then directly behind that, I've got 200 watts worth of solar from High-Tech Solar Company, High-Tech Solar Equipment. I think it's basically the exact same thing as Renogy, just under a different brand name. And then behind that, I've got two rectangular nautical porthole windows, which are clutch when you're looking for that spring breeze to come through the van. My goal for this build was, more than anything, a bit of a mobile office. So you'll see once we get inside that I wanted to have a good desk space. I wanted to have some areas where I can kind of spread out my desktop, my tablet, things like that, to continue working. So I chose not to put any windows on the outside of the van for that purpose, because I wanted the privacy, and if I'm on a call with a client, I don't want people, you know, smashing their face up against the window trying to look inside. So let's go ahead and move on to the back. As you can see, there is a deceptive amount of storage in here. I'm gonna go ahead and take the camera and put it inside. And you can see I've got plenty of space in here behind the fridge, the electric fridge. This is where my ottoman seat, you guys will see later, pops in. And here, this is about 1.5 feet by 4 feet. Doesn't really look like it on the camera. By 4 feet by 2 feet storage. So lots and lots of storage over this left side where the wheel well is. Alright guys, I'm inside the van because it's about 40 degrees outside, pretty cold for me. So let's go ahead and continue the tour, and we'll start from the barn door side. So as you can see here, I've gone ahead and finished out the bottom portion, this mini step that goes into the van with the flooring, gives it a nice accent, and put a motion sensor LED light there at the bottom for when it starts. It's really nice to illuminate. Make sure you're not slipping because the step is small. Here you can see I retained the original work cargo van door that came with this thing. I basically just have a latch just to the other side of this thing that only opens from the cab side, unfortunately, but that's one of the areas that I didn't quite get to finish the framing and the locking mechanism on the door, but it does hold, it works really well, and does give some privacy. And then as you enter the living space, you can see right away, you get to see the vent for the Chinese diesel heater that I've installed just opposite this wall. Everything is mounted internal of the van itself, with the exception of the fuel line and the fuel pump. Of course, the exhaust goes out and the air filter is outside, but otherwise, the unit itself, as well as the diesel fuel reservoir, is mounted securely behind the driver's seat. But I can rotate this vent so I can shoot the air up. I can shoot the air down if I want to heat this area. If I want to heat this area of the floor, get my feet warm, or as I'll show you later, oftentimes I'll sit in my ottoman and kick that vent up while I'm sitting drinking my coffee. If it's crisp outside and I haven't been running this thing all night, then my feet get nice and toasty. Right above that, I've got the LCD screen that comes with the heater. It tells me everything I need to know I'm not a diesel guy, I'm still learning about it, but it's been super helpful. I can put a timer on it, I can change the power, the revolutions of the fan, how much fuel I'm using, all that stuff to really make sure that I'm super comfortable. Continue to the left, you can see I've got a full bar sink. I want to say the dimensions here are 13 by 8 by 10, and it's got some good depth in it. It's a proper bar sink. It has the proper plunge. I'm having a hard time pulling that thing out right now, but there it goes. It's got the proper plunge for it. Unfortunately, have not yet gotten a chance to use it because I haven't finished installing the plumbing under here. Just to the left of that, I've got, scoot this stuff over. I've got my dual burner cooktop. It's just a camp stove. It's propane. Super easy to use. Takes me 2 seconds to set it up. There's plenty of space on here, including the sink. I think I've got 5 foot 2 inches worth of counter space length. Here is just a drawer with all my cutlery, and this one here accesses, you can see I've got a few things under there, but this also accesses this space underneath the sink where the plumbing and the water reservoir will go. And then here is just a bit more dry food storage. This goes all the way back. I've got some supplements in there, some sunflower seeds, but it's a good amount of storage in there. This part is my vertical food storage, and I've got four small shelves in there, one tall and narrow, and then of course as they drop in, I had to contour the skin of the van to make sure I got the most out of it. Cabinets, I've got push button locks, as you guys have probably already noticed. Push button locks on all of the cabinetry. Underneath here, I've got an LED strip, so even when it's dark, it could be pitch black outside. Turn the LED light on, you can see it shining through, which gives a nice ambient, soft ambient glow. But I can always see what's going on inside my cabinets. Now let's move on to the underbed space. I have a hamper, a laundry chute, if you will, that's about 1.5 feet wide by 4 feet deep, and I used it, or created it, by using just some hardboard. So this just kind of flaps down, actually goes the entire length of the bed space. And finally, the pride and joy, which makes this bad boy so comfy, is the standard 48-inch ottoman that I fit inside that door right there. This thing makes it all worth it. This turns into my lounge. This is where I was saying earlier I could put my feet up and the heater vent kicks straight up onto my toes, and I can kind of look up and just see what's happening through this skylight here. And the big question everybody always asks, how do you use the bathroom? So I'm about to show you. Here is my, I've got one bathroom drawer and one compartment toilet. And then here is my one bathroom door. Still has a bunch of stuff. I haven't quite organized it yet, but I've got all the bathroom things that I need. And then here I've got an open handle that I can just draw out. And here is my compartment toilet. And then once I'm done, this one just pushes right back in, and that's all she wrote. All right, since we're in the kitchen, of course, you gotta have a cooler, you gotta have some sort of fridge. So here is what I got. All right, let's move on to the bed space. The bed space, I've got a couple of different dimensions. It goes 48 deep back to the tufted wall, and then as you can see here, the tufts here, and there's some hidden behind the pillow, that is 68 width. But then I also did some bump outs, one to the left and one to the right, which actually, those bump outs actually give me 71.5. And so at 5 foot 5 foot 10 and a half tall, I can't quite go straight across unless my feet are flexed. This turns out to be really plenty of space for me. And final portion of the living space of the van is my office. So I've got a little bit of a workspace here, some decorative back wall. I've got, I want to say it was 40 or 38 inches worth of desk space here. I went ahead and stuck this on there just because I like the way it looked. But I also created an extension in case I don't want to sit facing here during the day and it's nice and I want to kick the doors open, which I've done a few times, and I can rotate myself to face out, put my feet up, there's my desktop, excuse me, my laptop, and I can look outside at whatever views I've got going on. When it is dark, however, and I don't want to open those doors, I do have some overhead light, which goes on a dimmer, which is really nice. And I went ahead and put all of my solar and my battery info here right next to me. I can cycle through whatever information I need. It tells me my wattage, my usage, everything that's come in, everything that's going out. And that's all powered by two 100 amp hour deep cycle solar friendly AGM batteries. All right guys, that's it for today. That's it for the tour. It's a brief one. If you liked the van tour as much as I enjoyed building it, let me know in the comments. Aside of that, I got some errands to run and I'll get at you later.